Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Anybody want to rock?
All right, I'm back. I'm optimistic now.
I do, but
I got
sure
some
wind.
sunshine and rainbows in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm not saying sunshine and rainbows. I'm saying
I got
optimism.
the sun in my hair.
And your mocking, by the way, has already struck a chord with. Can you go to the text line, Beef, please, and let me know
Yes.
what exactly?
Well,
what
Lauren
happened?
and I both received a tweet this morning. It said, "Time of death for optimism Thursday. Dan's arrival."
See, there we go.
Yes,
See what's
that's
happening.
true. There's a sense of irony when you, my colleague, declare something optimism Thursday.
Yeah. See, well, here's the deal. Again, pessimism should not be confused with realism. See, I'm the realist of the program.
Dan shot it
I
down.
like to look at it.
Mhm.
Not a
Shot it down.
not
You and
necessarily.
Lauren, 7-1.
Here we go. Now you're mocking again. It's not within the tone of what I was asking of you. I don't ask much of you.
No, you don't, but I can't do that for 3 hours.
I'm going to ask for crowdfunding for a banner over the stadium against the Steelers saying, 6-1 at that point, because we'll have already won one.
Yes.
6-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend your money on them. Probably.
I said crowdfunding.
Oh, crowd. Okay. Well,
Yeah, spend some other
that's a lot of
sucker's money.
energy too. I think so.
The bank needs to be rocking.
Dan, for a team
Yes, sir.
that is desperately within this 2 weeks wanted to get on the same page and be of the same mindset. I found it a little disconcerting that Doug Marrone, and AJ Boye are on opposite pages, or they're getting some guys back from injury, most notably Leonard Fournette.
Right.
Do you give me what you sense for this football team
I don't-
after yesterday's media day session?
Yeah, I hate to be not the optimistic guy, but that's where I'm at, and probably that alone made me wonder. I mean, a little bit of a disconnect between coach and player, and I'm not blaming the coach on this one. So, I don't blame the coach on a lot of things for the way this season has gone, interestingly enough. But that's not what there's a couple things happening here, that I don't like the vibe, I guess. I don't like the vibe. I'm not sure that there's a hey, we can do this vibe in there. And it'll be interesting to see, and I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they go out there and sack Andrew Luck 10 times like they did the Colts quarterbacks last year. But the Colts have not given up a sack, by the way, in 3+ games. So the most sacks they've given up all year is 4 in one game. And the Colts offensive line has been very good and bought Andrew Luck a lot of time, which has enabled him to throw 23 touchdown passes. I don't know that we're going to see the Andrew Luck that had beaten us numerous times, but, I mean...
It's a different animal for sure.
Yeah, but the captain can certainly, sling the football around. So my vibe is not a positive.
It was very disconcerting. A lot of the websites and whatnot go through mid-season grades since everyone's at 8 games, and they look ahead and they look back at what needs to happen and what's the hurdle, and they also, as part of the articles, give you the team MVP. And it's very disconcerting on a football team that has Leonard Fournette, the improving Blake Bortles, the offensive line that they thought they had bought and put together, a team that had 4 or 5 Pro Bowl caliber defenders at the MVP at this stage of the season. And it's inarguable, by the way, is the kicker. You're not doing it right. If the kicker is the MVP at the midway, unless
I've beat that drum for a long time. I couldn't agree more.
We're back to the kicker's MVP.
Yeah,
Dan.
it's a bad sign. I'm very happy when our kickers are good. And I've told this to Scobes a million times, and he knows it, and he probably gets sick of it. I used to tell Scobes, you should not be the most popular player on our roster.
Yeah.
If you're the most popular player on our roster, we're in trouble. I'm glad for you that you're so popular and well-liked and you have a wonderful life, and I'm happy for you because you're a good dude. However, if we don't have a dozen other guys standing in front of you with people screaming for their autographs, we got problems.
Listen, most popular...
And that's where Scobes walked for a few seasons.
Most popular player is dangerous enough. Most valuable player
That's
is
even
catastrophic.
Worse. Catastrophic. Because I don't care if the kicker had made,
unless
George Blanda.
Yeah.
George Blanda had a season, the only one where
he
you
won
could
league MVP. So did Mosley.
Now, by the way, George Blanda also came in and relieved Darryl LaMonica and threw touchdown passes as a backup quarterback. But George Blanda had a little string when I was a kid. I'll never forget it. And he hit these 50-yard and 40-yard, and he made every clutch field goal. And the Raiders were not very good, but they were winning these close games. And and he ended up winning, I think, the league MVP. But
that was back in a day, too, by the way. That
Unless
a 30-yarder was
correct.
a 50-50 proposition. I think Mark Mosley in the strike short year, just as a straight-on kicker, won the MVP.
Unless, and that was dumb.
Yeah,
unless,
that is dumb.
Unless Josh Lambo is recovering onside kicks himself and sneaking in on pass plays and running down the field untouched and catching 60-yard bombs.
I might want to try that.
He should not be our MVP. All right, let's get this out of the way. All right, now Trask is done, so give me a formula. You have South Carolina, Idaho, FSU bowl game. Emory Jones is eligible for 2 if he's going to redshirt. If he's not, it doesn't matter. But so you lay out the plan for the Gator quarterbacks for the next 4 games, keeping in mind everything that you have to keep in mind, recruiting and who and what you want to accomplish. Go ahead.
Well, look, I'm not in the locker room. I don't have a relationship with Felipe Franks like Dan Mullen does. I don't appreciate his strengths as much as the coaching staff will. But, I've been pretty clear on this from just my own statute of limitations. And that statute has been reached with Felipe Franks. I don't want to see him play again unless you're out of Emory Jones and whoever the walk-on backup is. I really just don't. I want to move in a different direction. I don't want to keep Felipe. I think, and here's the sad reality about of my belief, and it could be wrong, and it probably is because I think Dan Mullen knows a lot more about quarterbacking in his team than I do. And if he keeps throwing Felipe Franks out there, it's with reason. He doesn't want to lose games. He doesn't have any special, indebtitude to Felipe Franks. But if it were me, back to the question, I'm playing Emory Jones. I'm playing the whole game. I'm burning the red shirt because if I'm any good and he's any good, it won't come into play.
Fair enough.
But again, that's just me.
No, and again, you've gone this far, but I would definitely use him. I think you're going to have to use him on Saturday to beat South Carolina. So I would definitely use him.
Felipe's lost his way
in this situation. I don't have to play him against Idaho. I would play him against FSU because that game's so important, and the bowl game is more of a fun thing.
All right,
although I would practice the heck out of him.
I'm looking back on everything that has happened and all the possibilities that were out there for Des Bryant when Dallas released him. And now, as we sit here on November 7th, I say this wholeheartedly: winner Des Bryant.
Winner Des Bryant. What's the question?
It's
a statement.
It's a statement.
I need to
play
off the statement.
That's kind of
was Des Bryant a winner?
Didn't work, but that was the idea.
Was Des Bryant a winner? I don't know what kind does it say what kind of money he got?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what happens to Des Bryant if he signs that deal with Baltimore. Their passing game has gone off. He's not producing. Yeah. He's already miserable, and he's.
I'll say to be determined. I'm not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know if Des Bryant can play. I did hear an interesting conversation with the Cauldron of Fire man, Greg Cosell, yesterday. And he was explaining the offenses, and he says New Orleans schemes up better offensively pass routes as opposed to Dallas, where you have to win your one-on-one battle. In Dallas,
in New Orleans, they get you open.
They get you open. And
I'd like that here, by the way. Yeah. We could adopt that style.
I think most teams would. I don't know why most teams don't do that, but nevertheless, the Cowboys, you have to run a slant, you have to beat the corner and catch the ball. Des can't do that anymore, was Cosell's point. So he will benefit from being in the Saints offense. I say it remains to be seen. I don't know. We missed a lot of football. Half the season is gone before he signed.
I think it's a great. I do think it's a great move for the Saints because when they get to the playoffs and they start taking away Michael Thomas, because they will double team in. What are you going to go to Benjamin Watson, Cameron Meredith?
I was thinking about this with the rookie quarterbacks. They've all hit the adversity wall in various ways, and none of their teams really are worth a damn when you think about it. Darnold's been awful. I think he has 2 touchdowns and 7 picks in his last 3 or 4 games, and now he's got a boot on. So McCown will probably start against the Bills.
Yeah, Darnold's not going to play. He's been ruled out.
Who forced Josh Allen out into a starting role way too early, and he ended up basically shredding his elbow. And so now
still wondering what that is.
He's out in Arizona, where they made the switch to the rookie quarterback Rosen. They fired their offensive coordinator and replaced him with their quarterbacks coach. So there's been some, and they're pathetic offensively. So that's no good. And even in Cleveland, we canned a head coach and an offensive coordinator, and the only thing there that matters is Baker Mayfield, and he's just been okay. And then even there was a play in Baltimore. I happened to be watching it on the red zone on Sunday where Flacco took the ball and Lamar Jackson was wide open on a wheel route. He didn't see him.
Yeah. Nod, wink, wink.
Yeah, and so.
Although if you're Joe Flacco, wouldn't you want Lamar Jackson?
Look, he's a great receiver. So anyway, I guess the point being,
is there a question in here somewhere?
Yeah, there is a question. This is why you don't draft a quarterback and thrust him into the lineup right away. I mean, you didn't do that with his.
Boy, I mean, good Lord,
shut up.
You made all mine look small in comparison.
Huh? Shut up. Optimistic. Oh.
So okay, what? Okay.
Yeah. How about this?
No. I got another question.
How about
Turn
this?
the damn music off.
How about this?
Huh.
Good point, Dan. Here's my last question.
Yeah, okay. Good point, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
This is not my last question, but I'm surprised no one, including a team that plays downtown, doesn't at least explore the option of Sam Bradford in some way on your roster.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford would be the best quarterback on this roster, as unaccomplished as he's been.
Yeah.
I'm curious why Sam Bradford, released from the throes of ineptitude in Arizona, is not getting a look from someone. But that's not my question. My question is this. After a football career that saw him catch no breaks,
right.
Tim Tebow caught no breaks. No matter what he did in football, it didn't work. And maybe that was he didn't make his own breaks. You could define it however you want. But
in the NFL.
It's been the exact – he didn't need any breaks in college. It's been the exact opposite in baseball, Dan. He's catching every break. And the latest break is that the new general manager of the Mets, guess whose agent he was in addition to Jacob deGrom?
Yeah, Brody was Timmy's agent.
He was Tim Tebow's agent. So immediately Tim Tebow, it's announced yesterday, starts in AAA.
Right.
What's the arrival date? Because it's coming for Tim Tebow at City Field.
Listen, yeah, maybe he's caught some breaks, but he's also earned it. It's a great story. He hit 273 in Double-A last year with 6 homers and 36 RBIs in 84 games. We need a little more power from him, but he also, changed his body. He was so bulky, he's lost some weight, and to get his body right. I know we were talking to Murph. We know he has a full-time hitting coach, is also in the article. So, I mean, the guy's putting in the work. He's the only thing working against him is his age, but really, it's a phenomenal story. It really is. If you think about the fact, in other words, he would have got called up last September and been in the major leagues, and he did earn a September call-up. Now, to suggest that he could be our 4th or 5th outfielder this year for the Metropolitans seems like a stretch to me, knowing who the Mets outfielders are. But I do think, like you said, inevitably, he's going to play in the major leagues. And if the guy makes it to the major leagues, God bless him. What a story. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal that he could go from not picking up a bat in 10 years.
Well, that's the breaks I'm talking about.
And going to the major leagues.
It's a break there's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL that if they quit today, they wouldn't get the chance to rise to the minors.
Oh, well, he was signed.
Yeah.
Somebody had to sign him.
Correct.
But I mean, again.
Go to the Arizona Fall League at 30 years old.
Yeah, but you usually get exposed, and he's getting better. That's all I'm saying.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But it's as opposed to it certainly helps to have your agent as the new GM of your team. Not a team, your team. That's even better.
All right, the doctor is in on Brave Old Army team. They just keep rolling.
They're also we're going to have to ask about the Air Force Falcon, Doc, so you better get your answers correct. I mean,
that was not good, Doc.
I need a number.
That's a prank gone bad. I want to take caller number 2 today.
Caller number 2.
We're going to give some
pillow fight.
Are we doing Kuhn flowers today?
Yeah, 641-1010. Caller number 2 is going to get a floral arrangement
nothing
with delivery.
Better than that floral arrangement from our friends at Kuhn.
And dinner for 2 at Sonny's Barbecue, celebrating the grand reopening of their Atlantic Boulevard location.
Shout out to Elton. Hope he's still doing well over there. We got more coming up after this.